It's only tan because of Celio's background on his belly. So I'm going to change that to a blue. And it looks like it hasn't hurt it. We're going to want to take a color that is not white and is very noticeable. It doesn't look like there's too much green, so I'm going to choose green. I'm now going to color everything that is white green. I'm going to use the paint bucket tool and just fill everything in. Now all the white is gone. Now if you remember correctly, the secondary color is the thing that becomes transparent. Since I've changed all the white to green now, it no longer becomes transparent. And I can properly put it on the face now. We line it up real good right there. And then once we think we found a good spot, put it there. And then we're going to want to change the green back. Let's use the paint bucket tool again. There we go. We now have a mustache. Look at that Togetic. It's sporting a real fierce mustache now. Well, obviously it's not done. We have no Flappy. There's still plenty of other things missing. So, let's go back in, and I think we'll do some Flappy. Well, we'll continue to do the obvious and grab Flappy's tail. Flappy won't miss it since I copied it down with the control click once again. Now, once again, we have to be careful. We can't just put it on top of it. A lot of times what you have to do is take the other Pokemon and place it over it. Once we find a good angle where it looks natural on, you're going to want to set it. Right now the colors aren't matching too great. You can ignore that for now. If you are a little bothered by it, you can always do that first. Right now though, I don't quite like Togetic's wing. As you can see, we can still see a wing right back here. It covers up the tail, and it doesn't quite match because most of the wing is covered up anyways. So we're going to actually go in. I'm going to use the pencil tool for fineness. And then let me just double check something. Okay. We're going to erase the wing. Be real careful not to, remove the mustache, since that's the part that we want to keep. We're going to get rid of Togetic's wing. Looks like Togetic won't be flying, although it almost looks with those huge mustaches that I probably could use those to fly. Place that right on. That looks sort of natural. I like that. Gonna stop dragging and leave it there. Okay. Now we have a small piece of everything. Some people would say, okay, I'm done. Well, I like to go a little farther, and I don't think this is quite enough. Let's go back up to Flappy. Oh, what's another good feature Flappy has? We can try putting on the feet, maybe. Or, well, the obvious little head things. Or, I like the ears. Thing with the ears is, though, we're going to have to go a little more advanced. For a few of those who don't have any spriting skills or are afraid to sprite at this moment, you don't have to do this. I'm going to do this, though, just because I like to take things a little farther. Actually, before I do this, we're going to hold this right there. Let's zoom out. Let's say you're not sure what you want to do next. You know what you're going to do, though, is risky. Well, we don't want to lose what we've gotten done so far. So what I'm going to do is highlight it, control and click, and make a copy of it. I'll put this copy over to the side out of the way. So let's say, once again, we're drawing over it. Oh no, I made a mistake again. That's okay. We can just get rid of the mistake and take what we had over here. Okay. Now that I touched that nice little method, we're going to go back in and take the ear. As you can see, the ear is actually mostly covered. We're going to actually have to recreate this ear. Now let's clean it up first and get rid of anything that happens to be Flappy's fluff. Get rid of that. Now, Flappy's ears are pretty simple. They even look symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is just a basic... I'm going to complete it up here. I'm going to round it off. As we can see, there's colors on it, so let's apply the color changes. Nothing too hard, nothing like some deep shading or anything. Just enough to make it. I'm going to alter the shading a bit myself, just because I don't like the way it looked. Still don't like the way it looks. Okay. Now we're going to make sure the borders get colored properly. I'll cover recoloring later. I'm just doing that now to show you what we're doing there. Now we have the new thing here. Now, Togetic also has another feature which doesn't look like it's going to fit in perfectly. So, let's get rid of that one too. I feel bad for mutilating such a cute creature, but it's for the sake of progress. Cut off that little spike. And now we're going to move our created ear onto here. This thing doesn't look like it has too many good spots. You want to know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shrink the size of the ear. I'm going to actually click, drag, all to the size. Do that. I know I'm doing this real fast. This is because I'm a spriter. I know exactly what I'm doing right now. As I said, this is an optional step. You don't have to get this serious with it. Okay, the ear's smaller now. Looks a little more appropriate. We'll just set that right there. I don't quite like it. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. We have a copy to the side. It actually doesn't look that bad. Okay. Next up, I'm actually going to retake the same feature and having to remake it again, because I already have one made. I can simply take this, highlight it, go to Image, Flip Rotate. Gotta be careful with Flip Rotate. If I come and critique you ever, I'm going to tell you, if you just did this, most likely, if it's something more complex, you didn't reshade. As you can see, it looks a little weird with the shading. We're going to change that up. We're going to make it a little more brighter. This is just because of where the light source of the sprite is hitting. I know I'm speaking probably a mile a minute to you. Oh, look at that. Got some annoying little white border there. Let's cover that. Nice noticeable yellow there. Kind of freaky. Try to see how I like it. Just realized where part of the problem's coming from. Have to get rid of the other spike. Let's recreate its border. Cute little Togetic's looking a little weird these days, but it's all should be fine. Okay, there we go. Let's change that back. Already our creature's starting to look like something completely new and different. I'm actually liking how those ears look on it. Okay. Well, Celio, I think, is once again being a little underrepresented. So let's think what we can do about that. Let's try to use something a little more different and original. Let's look at its tail. Now you may be thinking, wait, Jamie, we already have a tail on it. Well, that doesn't mean we can't change that. I'm not saying we're going to give it two tails. I'm saying we're going to modify its tail already. Make it not just a flappy tail, but a Celio tail at the same time. Now this seems a little big, so I'm going to once again see what I can do to shrink it. Just take these, alter them to the side. That doesn't look good. Nope. Zoom out. Doesn't look like I've changed anything too much. Once again, this is a little more of advanced stuff. It's hard to exactly explain. It's something that's becoming more natural for me because I've been doing more sprites and splicing. Okay. We're just going to put that there. I know that looks real ugly, but we're going to fix that now. We're going to want to make sure we have one consistent color. Let's make it all Celio's color. It's going to be hard to tell since the color's already a lot like each other. I'm just going to take this, override that, color it in, make sure all the colors are the same. Okay. That looks new and different and not quite the same. It looks a little awkward. I will admit that. And, well, let's see what we can do to fix that. If we thicken the tail, make it more part of the whole thing, you might see what actually changes. Change for the good or the worse. Go in there. Whoops. Got rid of some border. Make sure to always fix the small problems. Small problems are actually going to be quite noticeable if you do them wrong. So, let's just add that. I don't like that one. Okay, let's get rid of that pixel. Zoom out. That looks a little more natural. The colors, I will admit right now, are really messed up, but once again, ignore the colors for now. We'll get to that in the next step. Okay, we got a good amount of Celio, a good amount of Flappy, and a good amount of